guys, it's MK. Welcome back to Cleaning Up the Mesk Part 4, and this is me going through all of the embellishments that I've got going on that were on my desk in a organizer or in my kit conspiracy kits or just hanging out because I did not want to put them away at the time of using them. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm categorizing them. I am looking at them and deciding where will I use these the most, which basically means I'm going to put them in a pile of whichever category they were in to begin with. So I have an outdoor category. I have my thickers. They all live in their own little rascog. I have that bin it's like a no-name bin, but it used to be called Happy. It's more like Bright. I don't know what it's called. Then I have a grunge bin, a winter bin, and so far that's all I have. Oh, and a travel one. So those are what I am piling up at this moment. I also see that I have a little bit of a water bin, which is more on the lines of beachy in anything. I used to call it water because it was anything to do with water, and now it's more for when I go on my cruises. But it's still the same concept. I also have a couple of these leftover little bits here that I did not end up using half the clock, and then I didn't want to put these swirls back in the larger packaging, so I'm just going to reuse another packaging since they're going in the same bin. I'm going to take these tickets and put them in with my fanfare pieces, and then I have a couple of little loose leaves that were gems, or not gems, charms and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to package those up so they're not loose in my outdoor bin. And then I have a little bit of dinosaur paws and some green twine. So I thought that those will go in my dinosaur. I've got washi tape that needs to be put away that I just used. And like I said, I have all sorts of stuff. These see-through stars or vellum stars I think I'm going to put with my Christmas because I think they'll look really good with snowflakes and things like that. So I just have random little bits that need to be separated and put together. But I have a bunch of little things that I threw away the packaging, or I repurposed the packaging, or I did something else with the packaging. And that's why I haven't put it away yet, because they're all these loose little bits and I don't know what to do with them. And luckily, most of them are for the outdoors. And so when I have in my organizer, for my specific organizer for the outdoor one, it's actually got a drawer at the bottom. And so I keep forgetting that it has said drawer. And so what I will end up doing is taking all of these, and I don't want to say dumping them in the drawer, but I organize them in the drawer. And that makes me feel 10 times better than just putting them in a baggie like my travel one. Just putting them in a baggie and then having that bag sit in my organizer. Because honestly, I will never go through them. What I really need to do is go through each organizer for each category and separate all the items. I don't know if I should separate them into item type, like paper product, wood veneer, flare, things like that, or should I separate them based off of whether or not they are hiking embellishments or they are scenery embellishments or they are, because honestly, hiking and scenery can be used on the same layout. So I'm not really sure, other than the fact that I know that all of these elements go together. I do know that I want to go through my organizer, especially the outdoor one, and separate it even more into hunting and then outdoor. Because then I can, if I'm doing a hunting layout, I can specify that I need my hunting embellishments, but then also go into my outdoor layout or outdoor category and pull in things that are relative to the hunt, whether or not they are reeds for duck hunting or goose hunting or bird fowl hunting, I guess. or I could do trees for deer hunting. I could do, bushes and things like that for the rabbit hunting. So it just all depends on the hunt. And then, of course, what type of outdoors we are in, if that makes any sense. So for that one, I'm not really sure just yet. I do need to find out if I have an extra flat bin that I use, like whether it's an iris bin or a bin from my scrap box. I'm not really sure just yet. I'm not at that stage, but I do know if I did deplenish or rehome the hiking stuff, then my outdoor bin will definitely be a little bit more breathable. Is a better word. All right. So basically all I'm doing right now is, now that I've gathered everything up into a pile, I am putting everything away, and I started with what was easy, and I left my outdoor bin for last because, like I said, I have this whole tray full of stuff, and again, I keep forgetting about the drawer, so I will go and utilize that drawer. And then what I am left with is my thickers, and my thickers have also been really bothering me because I keep them in rainbow order, not specifically Roy G. Biv, but I keep them together in rainbows. So I have my whites together, my blacks together, so on and so forth. And they were getting mixed up. And so I had to very briefly go and fix that as well before putting away all the ones that I had on my desk. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting everything back, and then also too, cleaning up. I thought that I would do this. I can't make my camera go out any more than what it is so I could show you my whole desk. That would have been amazing if I could. But my desk is huge, you guys. It's 36 inches deep by 48 inches wide, or no, 60 inches wide. It is big. And so for me to keep it clean, it's a task because everything just gets put on it and then shoved back farther until they can't go anymore. I had to have my husband put a lip on my desk so that way things stopped. Like, here is the edge, woman. Stop shoving everything back farther than they can go. But in reality, the desk is meant to be an island, and then where two people can actually scrapbook across from each other. I don't have a whole lot of people here in locally where I can do that with. And so I've never had my desk set up that way. So I had my husband put a lip on the other side so I will quit shoving things all the way back. So this is what my original desktop looks like. In case you guys are curious, before I put my glass mat on it, I did order the extra large glass mat, which I think is 24 by 36. So that way it covers my entire camera frame. So I can zoom all the way out and you still won't see the chaos that is beyond the borders of my glass mat, which makes me happy because before, when I just did a 24 by 18 glass mat, I felt like it was a little on the too small for me side because it fit a 24-inch layout beautifully. But when I zoomed out, you could still see the edges of my desk. And I honestly didn't like that. So I really do love, and I apologize. I must have hit my camera because when I centered my glass mat, now you can see a portion of my desk. So I must have bumped my camera while I was cleaning and getting rid of all that paper dandruff that you see underneath everything. And I just used a paper towel first to kind of sweep up all the big stuff. And then I used my spray bottle to get it all done. Now I'm reorganizing my little tool caddy. So this is my secondary tool caddy. And it just basically houses all of the things that, I feel like need to stay on my desk, like tooling that I use all the time, like my blender, my blender tools and my daubers. My favorite is twine in the whole wide world, some washi tape to help me hold things down. some acrylic blocks, my scraper that I use to scrape off stubborn mixed media that gets on my glass mat. I used the Tim Holtz scraper because it was made for a glass mat. And so I thought, well, then it's made for my glass mat too, until I find something else. I don't recommend using a razor blade because then you get the scratches in it, and mine is a hard plastic. So anyways, unless you're really good at razor blades, then, that is definitely... I also keep a rub-on tool or 12 in here. I find out that I have a ton. I have some, what are those, travel paintbrushes, just in case I need a paintbrush really quickly. I have teeny tiny little scissors. I just found that I had some embellishments in there. I must have just put them in there on the fly, and just to get them up off my desk, and they never got put back. So I put them back right away. And then I use this pencil just for its eraser, so I can make little tiny dots. And then the other pencil is a pickup tool by Close to My Heart. It is the pickup tool that I have found that works the best, aside from when I see people using the crystal katanas. I haven't purchased one, so I didn't buy one. And then, of course, I've got two blender brush tool holders that I have designed, and I was just kind of sharing them with you guys really quickly. So I was, before I put them away, and then I use my vacuum because I made it quite dirty again. I have two other little trays. One has a brads in it, and then the other one just has like little stamp blocks and things like that every now and then I grab for. I decided to have my presser, my stamp press on my desk now. And then I have several stamp chamois. And so I decided to go ahead and put one with my travel along with this little, it's a tray that you poke all your tools in, and then they kind of stand up like flowers. I've decided to do that as in my travel tool as well, because I have these other toolkits that I use on my desk. So I'm going to put that in my travel bin. And then I have this old sanding kit. I decided to put that in with my travel kit as well. And last but not least, I have a couple of design books. Most of them are for travel. The Nuvo one has all of my roll the dice and build a page with dice. And then, of course, I've got my everyday stamps that I like to keep on my desk, with my stencil, my stitching templates. So that is me cleaning off my Mesk. I finally have it clean. I can finally get to work, even though I've been creating layouts up to this point. But thank you so much for your patience and waiting for this video to come out. I truly appreciate you guys sticking with me and seeing how I clean my desk and what's on my desk, right? Thanks again, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.